So this morning's 4 a.m. wake up was pretty damn brutal, okay? Even though I do it every day during the week, from Monday to Friday. Yes, after repeating it for a while, it does become a lot easier, but you still get those days where you just like don't want to do it, right? This morning, for example, I clicked my snooze alarm. I almost slept through that second snooze alarm. So it was very tough. Okay, but as I'm lying in bed with this battle in my head, thinking like, holy shit, man, I really don't want to get up. I think it's like 37 degrees already Celsius, so it's hot. I was tired. You know, I just reminded myself as to why I'm getting up at 4 o'clock. Right? And the biggest reason for that is not because I'm crazy disciplined and all of these things. It's because that little sacrifice, right? I could sleep for another 2 hours. Then that takes me to 6 o'clock to wake up. But that little sacrifice, 2 hours of sleep, allows me to get all of the work done that I set out for the day. Otherwise, I'll just go into the day feeling like shit. I can't get to everything I need to get to. I feel unaccomplished because I feel like if I can't reach those targets, if I can't, hit those goals, then I'm taking 2 steps back. Okay, I could be doing so much more to get to where I want to get to. So that little bit of a sacrifice gives me such a good reward, because at the end of that day, when I do complete all of my work blocks, then I feel good. I'm like, okay, shit, I'm on track. I'm going exactly where I need to go to. Same with following the meal plan, right? Same with when you stick to your meals and you've got a specific goal in mind, right? Every time that you don't cheat on your meal plan, right? Every time that you go and stick to that plan, you feel good about yourself because you know that you are moving closer to that desired outcome, okay? Now, this morning, actually this week, I started something new, okay? I've started, for my 4 a.m. wake up, I'll do a little bit of my morning routine, I'll go do my breath work, I'll have my cup of coffee, I'll take a shower, I'll get ready. Then somewhere about around 4:30, 5 o'clock, I sit down. Now, what I've started implementing is just for the first 30 minutes of the day, I take my phone completely away, right? I don't have it close to me, I don't have it near me, I'll put it in the other room if I have to, and I just sit in complete silence. And I just let myself think, okay? It really helps me come up with ideas, anything that I want to start, and then what I do with that is I just put everything that comes to mind on a board, okay? It allows me to structure things in a specific way. Just like Monday, right? I did this exact same thing, and I just came up with these new structures, these new ideas, and so far it's been helping me. So this is something that I've implemented every morning. One of the most powerful things that you can do is to just sit and think. It's kind of like meditation, because we get so many ideas that run through our heads, especially if you're like an entrepreneur, right? If you're someone that is running your own business, ideas are crucial. Okay, you want to try this, you want to test this, you want to see if this works. So that's kind of what I started doing. And this morning in particular, I was thinking about how sacrifice always brings reward. Okay, and you do not get a reward without sacrifice. And the reason in particular why I thought about this is because I'm going to share a couple of screenshots of a conversation that I had with a guy, I think it was yesterday or the day before, who reached out to me. Okay. Now basically what this conversation was about was him reaching out to me, and he said, man, I really look up to you, like the confidence that you have, like how comfortable you are with yourself, and I really want to be like that. Are you able to mentor me? And I said, yes, I do mentorship. Okay, I do online coaching. It's more than just the fitness aspect. Okay, the fitness is always a cherry on top. It's the habits and the mindset that gets you there, right? It's the confidence. That's what we want at the end of the day, right? Is confidence. Confidence is the biggest superpower that you can have, specifically and especially as a man. Think about it, man. If let's say that you've just got a new suit. I'm sure all of us have done this. Or you got a new outfit and you feel really good in it. Everything of your day changes. You wake up, you put on that suit, it's that occasion, you walk around feeling like an absolute gent. Your flipping chin is up, you walk with confidence. People start to notice you, right? And you just, your day is fantastic. Now, that's the same with getting that physique transformation, having a body that you're proud of. Every morning, you wake up, you look in the mirror, and you say, shit, fucking look at that physique, look at that work that I've put in, look at the sacrifice that has paid off. And you go into that day feeling absolutely insane if you've been able to achieve your goals. And I know this, right? Because I spent a lot of my life just waking up every morning, looking in the mirror, just not feeling good, right? Anytime I put on clothes, I would walk around and be like, the shirt just doesn't really, it's not fitting me nicely, like do my legs look skinny in these pants? And that would be going through your head all the time. And it has a major impact on what the rest of the day looks like, yeah? You know, confidence. If you have confidence, you go into a meeting, you know, maybe it's a job interview, you will get it. Speaking to women. If you don't have confidence, I don't talk a lot about speaking, like approaching goals, because that is not a main priority for me, but that is something I really used to struggle with, right? I used to never have confidence to go up to doors, and it ate at me. Now, it doesn't matter, right? Because I'm fully confident in who I am, and that's what it's about at the end of the day. Now, back to the story. So this guy reaches out to me yesterday, or the day before, and he asked for this mentorship and all of this, and I said, yeah, 100%. You know, he says he doesn't feel confident at all. He doesn't feel masculine as a man. He's been spending his entire life feeling this type of way. And I said, okay. Now, I'm very specific with who I do have in my program. Okay? I only accept a certain amount of people, and in specific, guys who are committed, who actually want change and who are willing to put in a little bit of sacrifice to get the reward at the end of the day. Because I've coached people in the past that say how they want it, this, that, and the other, and then they just don't show up, right? They don't show up because they're not that interested. Doesn't matter how many times I reach out, doesn't matter how good I set up the structures, and I don't work with people like that anymore because it wastes my time and it wastes their time and their money. So I hop on a call, right? I do almost like a screening before I accept people into the program. If I find that they're a good fit, then I accept them. So anyway, we set up this call, all of that, and there's one other thing that he says, because he asked me what my age is, right? So he asked me what my age was after we set up this call, and I said, I'm 27 years old, and he's absolutely shocked, right? He cannot believe that someone so much younger than him is in such a different level, right? A different state of mind, looks at things in such a different way. He's saying specific, like the wisdom and how he says I'm like twice the man he is, and, you know, half the age or something like that. And I said, listen, and he says, isn't it, he goes, don't you think it's weird being mentored by someone younger than you? I said, not a chance. It's got absolutely nothing to do with age. Nothing to do with age. Think about it this way. Would you take advice from a 70-year-old man? Now, he's been on the planet for a long time, right? But all this guy has done his entire life, has sat on a couch, drank beer, watched TV, live off government benefits. What fucking advice are you going to take from him? So age doesn't mean shit. People are at different levels because of what they have gone through. There are so many guys that are right now in the position the exact same as this guy, right? The exact same position that I was in, because I was in that position as well. Not feeling fully satisfied, not feeling like a fucking man, right? And it sucks, especially if you're ambitious, especially if you set yourself to a certain standard. It's not nice feeling that type of way, right? Not having that confidence. And the only difference between people who are at different levels is the fact that they realize it, that they understand that change needs to happen, and they are willing to put in the sacrifice and to put in the work to make that change actually happen and to actually take action upon it. Okay, that's the only difference. I started my journey when I was 16 years old, and it's not just through fitness, self-development. Who I am now compared to who I was then, it's so different, man. Like, I'm so confident and comfortable in who I am, but still, I'm trying to get to the next level. And I'll continue trying to get to the next level, the next level, the next level. But it's no longer that feeling of, fuck, you know, wishing and hoping. It's a complete mindset shift. And unfortunately, a lot of people also don't believe that they can get there. And that's a negative belief system. That's a negative feedback loop that they have developed. And that can also easily be broken. So anyway, we set up this call. Then, or I say, okay, 30 minutes, it's the following day now, I say 30 minutes before the call. I say, listen, I'm going to send over the link 5 minutes before our call. Click on it, I'll see you for our call. If you have any questions, make sure that you ask them on the call so I can clarify everything for you. Then he replies to me and he comes back to me and says, listen, you know, after giving it some thought and, you know, sleeping on it, I don't think I'm ready to put in this much effort or this much sacrifice or for such a big change in my nutrition and my training. So this is now based on my IRM system, okay, the insulin recall method, which is following a meal plan, implementing macro split, okay, and going to the gym 3 times per week. That's it. That is the absolute bare minimum. And the fact, and I don't understand this, and this is exactly why I'm talking about this, right? Sacrifice equals reward. Too many people want to take, but then they're not willing to give. That's not how this fucking shit works, man. And it's funny, you don't even need that much sacrifice. So you aren't willing to eat clean, right? To eat healthy for the next 6 months. You aren't willing to adopt a new lifestyle, okay, which is going to take you again less than 6 months to form that habit, to form that where it becomes almost automatic. You are it's not a quick fix. It's a lifestyle change. You want to be able to do this sustainably for the rest of your life. And it's ridiculous, honestly. You would rather spend the rest of your life feeling like you're made for more, having a lack of confidence, feeling like you're not a man, not masculine. This guy was going on and on and on, right? And it's not just him. There's many guys that I've spoken to, many friends that I have had in the past, right, who treat their body like shit, go out and party 3 to 4 times per week, do fucking drugs, are heavily overweight, yet all they do is complain, oh, you know, I wish I looked like you, I wish I did this, I wish more girls, like, I could talk to more girls, I wish I had a girlfriend, I literally had a friend like this back in the day. It's safe to say that we are no longer friends because I don't surround myself with people like that anymore. You complain and you wish and you hope for a situation that you have full fucking control over. It doesn't make sense. And I've literally offered these friends, because they were friends of mine, free guidance. Just follow this for the next fucking 8 weeks and you already start seeing a big difference. No. I don't wanna have to change my lifestyle, like I don't wanna have to be restricted. I'm like, come on, man. You would rather be miserable for the rest of your fucking life. You would rather be miserable for the rest of your fucking life than follow a plan for the next 4 to 6 months, change your life completely, and once you've maximized your insulin sensitivity, you've got full freedom. I have stuck to my meal plan last week, I think about 4 or 5 days. The entire weekend last week, the weekend, I went to a festival, okay? I enjoyed that because I spent that entire week ticking all my boxes, sticking to my meals, which, by the way, is steak. Damn, who doesn't want to eat steak? Ground beef, rice, potatoes, like eggs, cheese, like, come on, man. It's really good food. I don't eat sweets, I don't eat shit because I don't have those cravings anymore. The reason why people have those types of cravings and are addicted to sweets is because their insulin is absolutely messed up. Anytime they eat a sweet, it spikes and then it drops again and they get that exact same craving. Or they've created a habit around it, like say not stress eating, stuff like that. And I said, oh, we're not clients for that, but that can be rewired. You know, if you're not willing to put in 4 to 6 months of sacrifice, of following a meal plan, following structure, working toward the best version of yourself, then you deserve to be unhappy. You deserve to be fucking miserable. Okay? And I used to be like that as well. And so I have all the right to say this. As I've said, I've spent so much of my life being miserable, right? Being unhappy, being unconfident. And I used to complain about it. I used to wish for this and that. Same thing with business, right? We never came from a lot of money. There's support, and I love my parents, but not a lot of money. Like there was a point where I had to work 3 jobs in order to like make sure I get the rent paid, you know, make sure I got food on the table. And then it got to that point where I was like, you know what? I want this nice lifestyle where I've got abundance, where I've got freedom, where I can just go to the shop and buy what the hell I want without even thinking about it. But what am I actually doing to achieve that? I'm going out 4 to 5 times per week. That was the point I was going out. Drinking, getting shit-faced, like not putting in the work. And as soon as I came to the realization that holy shit, there's no way that I'm going to achieve the goals that I have set out if I continue like this. If I don't start, you know, my own business, take that risk. Because I didn't study. Okay, I never went to university. So I had to make shit happen. So I grafted, I grinded, I posted on social media. I did all of these things relentlessly. There were the days where you feel like you want to fucking give up. There are days where you are in the trenches. There are days where you absolutely, like, you can't sleep. But it's paid off. Because I put in the sacrifice. With my physique, the reason why I don't have to eat my meal plan right now. I do it because it's very convenient for me. It helps me set time. I do my meal prep. And it's a habit that I've developed. But I can literally eat a burger every single day. I can have a pizza every second day. And nothing is going to happen because I went through the process of maximizing my insulin sensitivity to get my body to work for me. That is the key. Right? If you want freedom with your food, if you don't want restriction, but in order to get to that point, you need to go through the process. It's that simple. Now, there are obviously no excuses. I don't have enough time to follow this. None of us have enough time. Almost all the guys that I coach, that I mentor, are first of all, a lot older than me, extremely successful entrepreneurs, business owners, high professionals in their space, and they work their ass off, yet they still achieve the goals that they set out because they have realized that their bullshit excuses are not going to get them anywhere. Right? Their bullshit excuses is not going to bring about change. The only thing that is going to bring about change is coming to terms with the fact that you need to put in a bit of work. You maybe need to just set up some new structures, and that doesn't mean train 2 hours in the gym. No, you need 45 minutes in the gym, 3 times per week. Stick to a meal plan, 4 to 6 months, that's it. Okay? And if you want to take it further, you can take it further. Not that fucking difficult. Right? Oh, you got a family, you're too busy. I've got clients, okay, these are 2 clients, for example. Renato, I'll show you exactly what his transformation looks like. This is Renato. When he came to me, right, he was not happy because he was training way more than he's training now. He's training way harder than he's training now, but he just couldn't pick up muscle mass without gaining fat. Now, he's got a family, Okay, he's got young toddlers. He travels for business all the time. Okay, so that means doesn't always have availability to the gym, can't always stick to his meal plans, but these are all limiting beliefs because these are all things that you can work around, which we have. Since joining the program, this has been his transformation. This is where he started, okay? Went through the priming and the depletion phase, maximized his insulin sensitivity, and when he started, mind you, he was eating 2,400 calories. And you can see what the difference in the fat is, right? He's got way more fat around his midsection, muscle bellies aren't looking as full. After going through the insulin recall method, we pushed his food up to over 6,000 calories, and he's the exact same weight as he started. But the visuals are completely different. He's got abs, his veins are showing. And all doing this, where you could only train 3 times per week, traveling, not always being able to stick to the meal plan 100%, but he acted with intention. He has another one of my clients, Ryan. Right? Ryan was fostering for a while, right? It was crazy. It was a toddler, it was a baby, also travels a lot for work. In the beginning of this process, it was tricky, it was tough, right? Because it was something new, so every now and then you'd cheat, you'd snack, you'd cheat, but he never gave up. Right? He never gave up. And because he never gave up, he made this insane transformation, right? He dropped all of this fat, he built muscle, his confidence went through the damn roof. All because he stuck to the process and he stopped listening to his bullshit excuses. Guys, there is no reward without sacrifice. The life doesn't work like that. And honestly, like I said, if you're not willing to do it for the next 4 to 6 months, then you don't deserve it. Then you deserve to be miserable. And the reason in specific why I'm making this video is because there's some of you guys that might just think it's a ridiculous amount. It's so crazy. The sacrifice that you have to put in, really it isn't. Eating clean, following a macro split, following a meal plan is not that damn difficult. It's not difficult at all. Now, if you are someone, right, that is sick and tired of being in the position that you are, feeling like you aren't where you want to be, then you need to, this is an exercise that I like to do, right? Write down what you're unhappy about, like what's stopping you from feeling full, what's stopping you from being confident. Is it your physique? Is it your bank account? Is it your job that you fucking hate? Is it the fact that you haven't started that business yet? List them out, right? Then list out your dream state, list out where you want to be, how you want to feel, where you see yourself in the next 6 months to a year. Weigh those options out. Every day, write that shit down, right? Write that shit down. Remind yourself, let auto-suggestion come into play, where after a while, it just sinks into your subconscious. And you're gonna find every single opportunity to act like that person, right? To do what that person does, that desired outcome, that dream state of mind. Once you do that, you will get there. Focus on those input goals, day in, day out. Be relentless, never give up, and you won't recognize yourself in the next 6 to 12 months. 6 to 12 months, that's it. And you can change your entire fucking life. Trust me, I've been there, I've done it. I've got the t-shirt. My clients, the exact same thing. They've gotten the fucking t-shirt. There's nothing wrong with you. It's not as difficult as you think, I promise you. And even after those 6 to 12 months, those habits, this new lifestyle that you've adopted, you're going to enjoy a hell of a lot more. It's always going to be a little bit more difficult to start in the beginning, but once you build that momentum, it's over, right? That's it. The only thing that you need to do now is to actually come to the realization that change needs to happen. Stop listening to your own excuses because you know that they're bullshit. If you don't have enough time, wake up earlier. Prep your meals. There's so many things that you can put into place to prevent that from happening. That's why I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Not because I fucking want to. Fuck, there's days I told you I don't want to fucking wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's the absolute last thing I wanted to do this morning. But I sucked it up, right? And now I've got so much work done already. And I feel good. Okay? I can go to the beach later if I want to, because I've earned it. Put these things into place, right? And if it is a physique change, which a lot of you guys have been reaching out for, I've got a private training explaining my entire system. Okay, it's not for everyone, it's not for the public. So you are going to have to message me on Instagram and I'll send through the link and then you can just watch it. And most importantly, actually implement it. Okay, I'll put the Instagram link somewhere in the description or something like that. So if you want that, just send me a message. But guys, a little bit of sacrifice for a big reward to change your life entirely. But I'll see you guys for the next one.